Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. I was blind, but now I see. It was grace that taught my heart to hear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious is that grace appeared the hour I first through many dangers, toils, and the snares I have already His grace hath brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me
Okay, our first mistake has already happened, which is to remind everybody that we're amateurs, and I'm sure you've probably figured that out by now. Sylvia was not supposed to be lip-syncing that song, but we got the side, evidently, that had the words. So that's our last mistake of the night. And I have to say, Sylvia carried it off beautifully. I think I would have scored on We'll pay for this, I'm sure. And perhaps we'll be able to find the right side and get her back out to do it. Okay, the folks you're going to see tonight, as I said, are all amateurs. Of course, some of them will probably be heading off for Hollywood tomorrow, the folks you see on stage. There's a lot more to what goes on than what you just see on stage. We've got a lot of behind-the-scenes people, and it's been hectic back there for the last couple of hours. I have to keep reminding myself that this is stress relief night. I'm feeling good. But some of the people that I would like to specifically thank are Mark Mulkey. Without him, we'd be doing this in the dark. He's our light man. Ellen Prince, who's assisting Brad Smith on sound, I guess, and Mark Mulkey. We've got Indian Sue LaPenta. She's from Edgewood Junior High School. And she was supposed to be our assistant stage manager, but I was out of town in Houston on TV Live. Okay, that's all. Number 2. So we gave Sue in. None of us have been drinking either, by the way. We're all sober. We yanked Indian Sue in at the last minute. She's our stage manager. She doesn't even work out here, but we figured, well, if she could deal with getting 13-year-olds on stage, maybe getting us from Lockheed Management might be doable. We've got Tony Wisniewski, who's doing the makeup tonight. She's from Sheer Flattery, and she's, from what I've seen back there, she's done an outstanding job. I think y'all will be, that's probably the only part of the show where y'all won't be saying, amateur, amateur. We've got Connie Duff and Karen Simons to thank for some pretty neat stage props. We listed Karen as Carla in the program, so that's another one, number 3.
Take credit for it.
Yeah, we may as well admit it right now. We've got Brian Monborn and Mark Sponsler to thank. Where's Brian? Brian's excellent voice. We've got him on some of the soundtracks, because like I said, we're amateurs. A lot of people can't sing. Sylvia can. She's the one who got messed up, but the other people who can't sing, Mark's singing for them. That's the only one that's supposed to be like that. Thanks very much, and Merry Kisses would like to say something. Probably apologize some more. Is this supposed to stay?
I can't read. Okay, my name is Mary Kisses. I'd like to welcome you to the first annual Stress Relief. We plan on making this an annual event if anybody will come back to see us. There's many people who have worked very hard to make this show happen, and as we get further on with the show, you'll realize what I'm talking about. The first person I'd like to thank tonight, I sound like the Academy Awards, is Mary Friend. Without Mary, this would not have happened, because Mary she just gets in there and does it, and she said, okay, we've got to have this. I'm going to start doing it. She didn't have meetings. She didn't say, okay, let's get a committee ready to study this. She just started writing the script and just did it. Val and Mary were terrific. Val's creativity is terrific. Thank you. Mark and Eva Taraboletti, thank you so much. They have, and Brad Smith, they have some theater experience. You know, we just got up here and said, okay, well, let's do it. What do we do? And Brad said, we have to have a schedule. Mark said, this is what we need to do. Eva got in there and said, we need to rehearse these people, for God's sake. And most of all, I didn't get to taste any of the food yet. I got to drink some, but I didn't get to taste it. But thank you to Pumpernickels for their usual excellent work.
This evening, some of our finest have worked very hard to make you smile. In many acts, you'll see a twist that we've added to our own working in the Space Center blues type. Now, please, just sit back, relax, let our cast take you to our idea of how it was when those were the days. On with the show.
I thought they'd never get off the stage. Gracie, I've got a very funny opening for my introduction speech at Jay Honeycutt's recognition roast. Would you like to hear it?
I'd love to.
Ladies and gentlemen and honored guests, as I look at our guest of honor, I'm reminded of a very funny story.
George, I heard a terribly funny story that would make a great opening for your speech.
Look, Gracie, I've already got an opening. Ladies and gentlemen, Gracie, please.
I can't help it, George. It's the funniest story you ever heard.
Well, if it's that funny, let's hear it.
Wish I could remember it.
I've got.
You know, it's a shame you have to write a whole new speech. Why don't you just change the name and use the speech you used for Murphy Brown?
Brilliant idea. Tonight I'll say, tonight we pay tribute to Jay Honeycutt, the woman who wears the pants in Washington. Gracie, what I said about Murphy Brown wouldn't fit Mr. Honeycutt.
No, huh?
No, you see, one is a news anchor in Washington, and the other is our new center director.
Oh, really? I didn't know Murphy Brown directed the Space Center.
No. For your information, Gracie, Mr. Honeycutt is an outstanding center director, and Murphy Brown wears the pants on a Washington news broadcast.
Oh, I see. So when Jay Honeycutt goes to Washington, he doesn't wear any pants?
Look, forget it. What I need are some facts for this speech so I can finish it.
Oh, George, I'll go get you some facts for your speech if you let me tell you about the dream I had last night.
All right, what was it?
I dreamt you bought me a 1995 Cadillac, and I bought you a necktie.
That was a nice dream, Gracie.
Well, George, here's the necktie. I kept mine into the bargain.
And then now I'm supposed to buy you a Cadillac.
Well, sure, because I dreamt it, and dreams come true.
Well, tonight you can dream that I've changed my mind. Look. If I don't get some facts for this speech, I'll never get written. Listen, forget it. I need a break. Let's introduce the first act. Ladies and gentlemen, straight from Shuttle Engineering, where the men are men and so are the women. Boogie Woogie Bugle Girl!
He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He was a top man at his craft. But then his number came up and he was gone with the draft. He's in the army now, a blowing reveille. He's a boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. They made him blow a bugle for his Uncle Sam. It really brought him down because he couldn't jam. The captain seemed to understand. Because the next day the cap went out and drafted a band. And now the company jumps in when he plays reveille. He's a boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. A toot, a toot, a toot to the out, a toot, he blows it eight to the bar. In boogie rhythm, you can't blow a note unless the bass and guitar is playing with him. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille. He's a boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. He was a boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. He's a boogie woogie bugle boy, Company B. Doo-doo-doo-doo-yada, doo-yada, doo-doo, she blows the day to the bar. Can't blow a note if the bass and guitar isn't with them. And the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's a boogie woogie bugle boy, Company B. They made the blow a bugle for his Uncle Sam. It really brought him down because he couldn't jam. The captain seemed to understand. Because the next day the cat went out and drafted a band. And now the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's a boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. He puts a boy to sleep with Boogie every night and wakes him up the same way in the early fright. They clap their hands and stamp their feet because they know how he plays. When someone gives him a beat, he really breaks it out when he plays reveille. He's a boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B.
Plum Sisters finished your act yet? Well, I know you two cooked this up together. What do you think I am, an idiot?
Better take that one alone, Gracie. I'm liable to ad-lib you right into a Yugo.
Look, Ivana and Marla, I'm not getting a Cadillac, I'm not getting a Buick, and I'm not getting a Yugo. So relax. And as long as you're here, Blanche, you can listen to the opening of my speech.
It's the J. Honeycutt Recognition Roast Blanche.
Ladies and gentlemen and honored guests, as I look at our guest of honor, I'm reminded of a story. It seems that...
George, I know a story that'll fit right in.
Well, you see, I already have a funny story.
Not as funny as this one. You
No?
see, no. The husband says to his wife, honey, why didn't you darn the holes in my pants pockets? And she says, well, you didn't buy that fur coat I wanted. So I figured if you didn't give a rap, I didn't give a
What's that got to do with Jay Honeycutt?
He wears pants, doesn't he? Not when he visits Washington.
Will you two just listen to my opening, please? Ladies and gentlemen, oh, never mind. I've got another great act to introduce. Ladies and gentlemen, Casey and the Bat. What are you, a wise guy?
The first time ever published was 1888. The San Francisco Examiner, a paper thought first-rate. But in that chauvinistic era, some editorial twistings came into play. Perhaps the distant ancestors of the Florida today. For in that day of yesteryear, most manuscripts were by hand, and we, in SR and QA, have gone far and wide across the entire land. We found the original manuscript and brought it here for you tonight. What's this? Do tell. The C's an L. Trust us to make it right. You showed up for a talent show, so here's talent for all to see. Because my friends are actors and I write poetry. Sit back, relax, relieve your stress. Hold on to your proverbial hat. It is our pleasure to present to you the real rendition of Lacey at the Bat. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Lockheed Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, with but one inning more to play. And when Cooney dived first, and Barrows did the same, "You're out! You're out!" a sickly silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair, the rest clung to that hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought if only Lacey could but get it back to health. We've put up even money now with Lacey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Lacey, and so did Jimmy Blake. And the former was a puddin', and the latter was a flake. So upon that stricken multitude, grim melancholy sat. For there seemed but little chance of Lacey's getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single to the wonderment of us all. And Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the wall. And when the dust had lifted, we saw what had occurred. There was Blake, safe at second, and Flynn, a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more, there rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It knocked upon the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Lacey, mighty Lacey, was advancing to the vat. There was ease in Lacey's manner as she stepped into her place. There was pride in Lacey's bearing and a smile on Lacey's face. And when responding to the cheers, she lightly doffed her hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt it was Lacey at the vat. 10,000 eyes were on her as she rubbed her hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when she wiped them on her shirt. And while the rising pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance gleamed in Lacey's eye. A sneer curled Lacey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Lacey stood watching it in haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped.
That ain't my style.
Said Lacey.
Strike one!
The umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar. Like the beating of the storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire!
Kill him!
Shouted someone on the stand.
We know where you live, Jack!
And it's likely they'd have killed him had not Lacey raised her hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Lacey's visit shone, she stilled the rising tumult. She bade the game go on. She signaled to the pitcher, and once more the spheroid flew. But Lacey still ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands. An echo answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Lacey, and the audience was awed. They saw her face grow stern and cold. They saw her muscles strain. And they knew that Lacey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is gone from Lacey's lip. Her teeth are clenched in hate. She pounds with cruel violence. Her bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Lacey's blow. So somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Lacey jacked this one out. You didn't think she was going to strike out, did you?
No, George. I just dropped by to tell you about the dream I had last night. I dreamt that you bought Gracie a 1995 Cadillac.
No!
Yes!
I dreamt the same thing!
No!
Yes! And so did I!
No!
Yes!
Well. Donald is back with the Trump sisters again.
George!
Look, I'm not going to buy a new car. We don't need it. It would be different if I were driving a beat-up old El Camino like Jim Collier. Oh, Gracie, come on. I need some facts so I can write this Jay Honeycutt speech.
Fine. I'll just go over to his office and interview him for you.
No. I'll get the information.
Come on, Blanche. You can meet Mr. Honeycutt in person. Oh, Gracie!
Both of you stay away from Mr. Honeycutt's office. He doesn't need you two pouncing all over him. Harry, introduce the next act. Make yourself useful.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man who needs no introduction.
And now, live in person, taking time from their busy schedules, the budgeteers with the bean counter beat, the act you've all been waiting for. I give you Nemitz and the Eye Shades.
my age, you need all the light you can get. Boy, these gals of ours, some actresses, huh, Harry?
Yeah, that wife of yours kills me. Imagine her thinking she could get a new car with that dream idea.
Oh, I don't think she really expected it to work, Harry. She does those things for kicks. I remember once she,
I'll get it.
I wish I could.
Come on in.
Mr. Burns! I'm Mr. Brown from Smith Motors in Merritt Island. I got a new Cadillac parked out front. Sign here, please.
Well, I don't want a new Cadillac. In Smith Motors, I thought they were in Titusville.
Titusville? Oh, so it was a tractor you wanted to buy.
I don't want a tractor or a Yugo or a Buick, and most especially, I don't want a new Cadillac.
But Mr. Burns, I spent all day yesterday talking to your wife, answering her questions. Mr. Burns, I've earned this cell.
I'm sorry, Mr.
You know what she wanted me to do? Put the windshield wipers inside the car so they wouldn't get ruined when it rained.
Well, look, I don't really...
And listen to this. All the time I was talking to her, she kept running the windows up and down, up and down.
What for?
She was cracking nuts.
Well, look, Mr. Brown, maybe in a year or two I'll buy a car from you. But for right now, you could do me a little favor.
Like what?
Well, you're a salesman, right? And salesmen listen to speeches. Well, listen to the one I'm writing here and tell me what you think of it.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen and honored guests, as I look at our guest of honor, I'm reminded of a story.
Oh, say, Mr. Burns, I've got a dilly of a story you can use. It seems that O.J. Simpson, Newt Gingrich, and Dan Patterson were stuck on this desert island.
Goodbye, Mr. Brown.
Goodbye, Mr. Burns. You know, it sounds like you've got a great speech here.
Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Good grief, aren't there any more straight men around anymore?
Hey, George! George!
Yes?
I just looked in the kitchen, and our wives are gone. I'll bet anything they went down to Mr. Honeycutt's office.
Don't be silly, Harry. We gave them orders not to. They wouldn't dare.
That's right, they wouldn't dare. Oh, they wouldn't dare miss the next act either. It's a great one.
Well, what is it?
What is it? What is it? Oh, you want me to introduce it?
Well, that's the idea.
Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, direct from her record-breaking bus and truck tour, it's the great Patsy Jean Bullock Clyde singing Crazy.
Patsy, it's so nice of you to join us on our stage tonight.
Thank you.
I thought I'd come out here and give you a little help. I have no idea what I'm going to do at this point, but I figured we'd be in it together. Now, let me tell you a little story, Patsy. When I get up out of bed this morning, the first thing I do is look in the newspaper in the obituary. If I don't see my name there, I get out of bed. That's a George Burns joke. You're supposed to laugh. Well, are we ready yet? I think we got it set now, honey. You go knock him dead.
Thank you for your help.
When you get it done, just let us know, okay? So, whose astronaut suit is this?
A friend of mine,
Well, who's that?
Mike McCulley.
Oh, did you wash it first? Got that astronaut aroma to it. I understand. They said they were going to give me a tour of the Space Shuttle. I'm on again. I'm crazy. You know, I don't sing, honey. You know what I usually sing? Those real old 1920s type songs. Have you ever heard any of them?
We may have to do one.
It's getting pretty close. You know, old McDonald? Thank you.
Our own, our beloved Dan, good to his mother, Patterson, and the Cake Girls.
Taking names, you're my guest. They call the man Patterson, while I be driving to the town. But the baggage was on helpless after the crash. Dan was fine, but my pocket was trashed. And where they all stopped and stared, I carried around my helmet as a souvenir. I never forgave him from the air of the back.
maybe we could get him to take us for a spin.
Well, actually, Blanche, I happen to know that he drives an old, and I do mean old, Mustang. Why, it doesn't even have air conditioning.
Oh, is it older than Jim Collier's car?
Way older.
Never mind the ride then.
Say, Mr. Bubba, I'm in Mr. Honeycutt's position. Now he should be able to help me convince George to buy me a Cadillac. Mr. Bubba, does Mr. Honeycutt ever dream? Can you get him to call my husband?
Well, of course he will, Gracie. Mr. Bubba seems like a very nice man. But I still think we missed out on meeting a company president. But Mr. Bubba was helpful enough. He'll ask Jay to call George about the dream. Oh, wait a minute! There's Mr. Honeycutt now! Why don't you go ask him in person?
Wonderful idea! Thanks, Mr. Bubba, you've been such a big help! Wait! I forgot to introduce the next act! And here's a treat that can't be beat. M&M's. Snickers! Safety man and guest sergeant QA by the quality people!
Safety, 1, 2, 3, is safety, baby, safety. Put the hill in safety, baby, people. Have respect for safety people, they are. Mega cool, those safety people, my road. You can be in safety, baby, got to get a job in safety, baby, respect. I'll get lost in safety, that's true, don't you? Want to be in safety too. Every man wants to be a safety man. The women, yeah, they love them. Everyone's a fan. Well, take out all across the land. Wearing steel to boots, yes, that's the macho man. You can best believe that he's a safety man. If he's in a hard hat on a tall work stand. Hey, 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 hey. Safety man. I want to be a safety man. I'll get there any way I can. 'Cause I want to be a safety man. I was passing your shoes. I said I want to be on that great crew. I said safety. Oh, your safety's for me, so I sent my application. Now I'm working real late at night, I'm on third shift. But I put up a fight, I write PRs till they come out my ears, and the text I know they hate me. Then they struck us in R&QA, well, this was if you were hot, so we pay for a spot. But just look at what it's got us. R&QA, or this perspective. R&QA. We write Ds and PRs, RCNs and CRs, and those job cards are so thrilling. Last week, I gave it one last try. I said safety. But that darn HR guy, he said no. You're an R&QA, so you're going to stay there. But now I'm learning to like my work. I see that R&QA does have some perks. We get picnics that cost once a year, but don't keep the open door. You know they struck us in R&QA, oh, this was the person. R&QA. We thought safety was hot, so we paid for a spot. Just look at what it's got us. R&QA, oh, this was the person. R&QA. We ride D's and C's RCNs and CRs, and those job cars are so thrilling. Hey, 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 safety, safety man. I still want to be a safety man. I've got my yellow tape in hand, 'cause I want to be a safety man. Safety, safety man. I still want to be a safety man. Got my yellow tape in hand, 'cause I want to be a safety man. Safety, safety man. I still want to be a safety man. Got my yellow tape in hand, 'cause I
Well, it was awfully good of you to call me, Mr. Honeycutt. This information will help me with the rest of the speech. One last question. In the many positions you've held in your life, what was your most nerve-wracking experience? Uh-huh. No, I mean before you met my wife. Great. Thanks. I'll be happy to make that phone call for you. Must be a KSC phone. Hello, this is Mrs. Honeycutt, Mrs. Peggy Honeycutt? Well, ma'am, you probably don't know me. My name is George Burns, and I wanted to pass along something very interesting to you. No, Burns, ma'am. T-A-R-A-B-O-L-E-T-T-I. Yes, that's right. Ma'am, I just wanted to let you know that I had a very interesting dream about you, husband last night. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I dreamt you bought him a brand new 1995 Harley Davidson motorcycle. Hello?
Well, George, you be proud of us. We got all the information you need for your speech.
Fine, Gracie.
Yes, we were wonderful detectives. We uncovered lots of little-known facts.
Such as?
Well, here's something hardly anybody knows. Why, it's probably the best kept secret at KSC.
Well, what is it, Gracie?
Well, it's so little known you probably shouldn't put it in your speech, but the fact of the matter is, Mr. Honeycutt loves to play golf.
Great, Gracie. That one should really knock the socks off the audience.
Oh, yes. He's a great fan. In fact, he's attended lots of PGA tournaments to watch the pros play.
Yes, one time he posed as a film runner in order to get into the Masters.
That's right.
And another time, he tried to pose as someone really famous in order to get tickets.
You don't say.
Yes! First, he tried to pose as an astronaut, but that didn't work. So then he posed as somebody really famous, far more famous than an astronaut.
And who would that be?
Why, George Abbey, of course. But that backfired, because George Abbey was already there.
Yes, I've heard he's just about everywhere. And speaking of really famous, it's about time for us to introduce our next act. Who's going to introduce it, Gracie?
Well, I think Blanche should. Yes.
Well, straight from their stellar performances at the OPF, the LCC, and the PAD, the people you love to hate, the Axe Boppers.
Out of town today, and on time, okay? No problem. But baby, you know what I like. Long with the tears in the sky, perfect going down.
Chase you around the world. There ain't nothing in the world like a birthday lunch to make me act so funny. And I say, oh, honey, when I see you soar, you rumble and you roar. Oh, baby, that's what I like. What's that in that? No, baby, I can't count any faster.
Oh, baby, you know what I like.
You know what I like. A perfect launch with a clear sky and a perfect couch going down. Again, we'll let you land with the little thing you land. Chase around the world. Ain't nothing in the world like a birthday launch to make me act so funny. That I say, oh honey, when I see you soar and you rumble and you roar. Oh, baby, that's what I like. We got no man and we got no home.
Oh, baby,
Everything is gold. For a perfect launch and a perfect dive, a perfect count going down. A dimple in the land with days to make you laugh. Chase around the world. There ain't nothing in the world like a perfect launch to make you act so funny. They say, oh honey, when I see you soar, you rumble and you roar.
Oh, baby, that's what I like.
The success and happiness that he so richly deserves. I thank you. How long did that take, Gracie?
Exactly 10 minutes, George. And it was a lovely speech.
Oh, thank you, Gracie.
Gee, this 1995 Cadillac sure is comfortable. I think it's wonderful that we get to drive it all the way to Washington.
Yes, and I'm honored that Mr. Honeycutt wanted to ride along with us.
Oh, that couldn't be Jay Honeycutt in the back seat, George.
Oh, well, it most certainly is.
Well, no, George. The man in the back seat has his pants on. Well, besides that, he's dressed really funny otherwise.
No, Gracie. He's wearing attire that is perfectly suitable for a center director.
If you say so, George. Gee, this car is so comfortable. I'll bet it's swell in the back seat, huh, Jay?
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night.
safety man. Young man, I was passing your shoes. I said, I want to be on that great crew. I said, safety, oh yes, safety's for me. So I sent my application. Now I'm working real late at night. I'm on third shift, but I throw up a fight. I write PRs till they come out my ears, and the text I know they hate me. Then they struck us in R&QA. Well, this was R&QA. Because if you were hot, so we pay for a spot. But just look at what it's got us. R&QA. Oh, this was R&QA. We write D's and PRs, RCNs and CRs, and those job cards are so thrilling. I gave it one last try. I said safety, but that darn HR guy, he said no. You're an R&QA, so you're going to stay there. But now I'm learning to like my work. I see that R&QA does have some perks. We get picnics that cost once a year, but don't keep the organ. You know they struck us in R&QA. Oh, this was the in R&QA. We got safety was hot, so we pay for a spot. Just look at what it's got us. R&QA. Oh, this was the in R&QA. We write D's and PRs, RCNs and CRs, and those